Ladies and gentlemen, you didn't think it'd be done, you didn't think we'd be back, but here we are for a second podcast, right? Right here beside me is the ratchet to my clank, the jack to my Daxter, Taylor, and I am Dale. Let's start this thing off. PlayStation Podcast number 2. Alright, so let's start off with upcoming PlayStation games coming to the PSN and stores near you, and basically we have nothing other than, PlayStation Plus games this week. Next week, bunch of stuff. We're having Sniper Elite 4, Praise coming out sooner or later, Stick of Truth is coming out in a couple months, so we can't wait for that. Yeah. Out of all the games for the PlayStation Plus, the only one I'm actually quasi-interested in, and it's the least approved Little Big Planet, is Little Big Planet 3. And
wait, wasn't 3 already out? Isn't it 4?
No, we're getting 3 for free.
Oh,
that's the only AAA game that we're getting.
Well, I mean, hey, we got Rocket League the first year. What was the second AAA? Well, that's not even AAA, I guess. That was an alpha game, wasn't it?
Yeah, basically. It was.
Okay, sorry. So I'm
the launch of Rocket League.
So Sony, you really suck for that kind of stuff. Honestly, I mean, PS3, I could go on there. I wish I would go on there more often and just get free games, because who knows, I could have missed free Uncharted games, who knows.
We'll never get Uncharted.
Ever. No, Uncharted 3, they would give out for free now. They have got it on the, they don't care. We
get about one good free game a month, and then everything else is arcade titles thrown in with it. Joining Little Big Planet 3 would be Not a Hero. That's playable on PS4. We got Star Wall. We got Ninja Saki DX.
Fuck that.
And then we got a random game for PSP that no one plays the PSP. I'm sorry, but no one does.
Maybe.
Maybe the odd person. But whatever. And then alongside that, there's Jack until next week. February 14th seems to be the big launch day for a bunch of games. We might be we might be having a better late winter, early spring for games than we did for a late fall.
Yeah, and I think 2017 might just be 16 there was a lot of great games, a lot of shitty games, but a lot of games in general that just
too much shit.
But and companies are throwing them out there, and I think this year, hopefully, the good ones, the good companies like Rockstar, for example, Red Dead 2, I'm hoping.
Technically 3.
Whatever.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but the original one was more of an arcade style shooter.
I like the first one.
I do too. But anyways, hopefully they listen to the feedback that the community's given them. And I mean,
they don't shut down Grand Theft Auto Online. They just kind of do their own thing too at the same time.
Yeah, they really need to, any company, but I hope, and Rockstar's been decent, I'm going to go back to GTA 5 a bit here for a sec, but they delayed a lot of the heists. They delayed that.
Well, they delayed the game itself from spring to fall.
That too. I remember pre-ordering that game, and then I had to wait another couple months. I was pretty pissed. And the whole fact that they released it on PS3 and Xbox 360, and then they hype it up again for a new system.
Cash grab.
It is a cash grab, but
who wants to turn on their old system and play the game again?
Yeah, and at least with the money they got from that cash grab, at least they did use it, and I mean, they're giving out free content, and I'm not bashing this game.
No, it's insane amount of free content.
Yeah, there is so many things that they've given out for free, and no, it is, man. At this point, I think they've redeemed themselves for all the shit that they.
They're not a negative company.
No, and they're not.
They're not a company that throws a game out there and says, "Here's a bunch of little downloaded content that you have to pay, $1 for or $2.99."
Even if they were here's a $30 DLC, but there's a whole new part of the map, that would be awesome. I hope they maybe even put in the casino area from San Andreas, sort of.
I think we've seen the last of Grand Theft Auto. I think they're clearly focused on the new Red Dead.
Well, no, the 6 is already I don't know. I've heard.
But how they go in waves. They do a Grand Theft Auto, and then they do a Red Dead.
Right.
And they do a Grand Theft Auto.
Anyways,
they do a Red Dead.
Nonetheless, Red Dead 2 seems to be. I've heard decent things. I know they're not releasing too much at the moment.
Yeah.
But
we won't see it until it.
And that's the way Rockstar goes. They don't say much, and then they sort of just fuck you. And I think maybe, like I was saying, they should just really listen to the community and I want their multiplayer to be almost flawless. I don't want any bullshit server issues and things like that. You guys are so good at making open world games.
First day of the server, Grand Theft Auto Online was just horrible.
Yeah, and then it's so hopefully that game turns out to be really good. Like I love Red Dead Redemption, and I've beat it multiple times. I played the poker, the horseshoes. I did all that shit. It was fun as fuck. So hopefully they can just add on to that and make the experience a whole lot better. It's going to be on PS4, 4K I think as well. So if any of you do have that piece of shit and you have a 4K TV, then
if you're one of those person out there, the 1% that bought a PS4 and a 4K TV at the same time, PS4 Pro, But
other than that,
other than Grand Theft Auto and whatnot, like it's whatever. I mean, I don't blame them for leaving the game. I mean, and focusing their attention on other.
They're not leaving the game.
So many people spread out through the company.
Yeah, they're not leaving GTA 5. They're probably slowing down a bit for the time being. And I mean, at this point, GTA 5 has so many things. All they really need to do
it's a clusterfuck of so much content.
Yeah, like if Dale goes back to it, like he's gonna have like months of gameplay, right? Where
I like going when it snows once a year. That's my thing. I like when it snows and I get off.
But the cool thing is they've got double XP,
constantly.
And if you go on and you check out some of the game types that they do it for, sometimes like adversary mode. What was the game type? I don't know. Juggernaut. Yeah, I think it was called Juggernaut. And I would make, if I was doing good, I could make 150,000 in one game. That's 20, 30 minutes.
Well, that's
couple
when
days.
the game came out, the money making scheme was just so. You'd either have to glitch to make good money, or you just have to grind for your entire game.
And that's things I want to like. Say Red Dead Redemption has some form of playability like that online, like how GTA 5 is. I'm not sure how they're gonna do it. I want them to have these things sort of already in motion. I don't want to have to figure out like after I played for 3 days straight that I could actually put the money into the bank through my phone instead of going to an ATM where some guy's camping it. I didn't know that, in the beginning.
In Red Dead, you're gonna have to go to some random guy in the middle of the desert and give you your money. I hope it's actual at that time currency. So like you do a mission and you get like $2 instead of like Grand Theft Auto where you get like
that would be awesome. Yeah,
grand.
And like a friggin'. Like one of those flintlock pistols or whatever. That's probably like way past their time or way before their time actually. But
anyways, those games and then the games to come and the games whoever.
That's probably the most anticipated game for myself this year. Hopefully,
I am psyched for Red Dead, but I'm also psyched for Prey, which should be great. I know Prey was redone, and this is their new image of Prey.
Yeah.
I love the original Prey from way back when, and.
I didn't get to play it.
Oh, you should. It's definitely a game, but that was the first game I beat on the 360. The Xbox. But like other than Prey, it's the new South Park game that should be amazing. Hopefully, it's a little bit longer than the last one. The last Stick of Truth.
Actually, that's a game. That's a game that I can't believe I'm going to say this. I wish they released DLC for. It was not long enough, and
I beat it in a day.
You only got to like max level 15. And if you're one like me where you like to complete like at least 50% or more, or try to, and level up and grind shit out.
It wasn't hard.
It was not hard, and like by the time you did like most of the side quests, you were 3/4 of the way of the actual game.
Yeah.
Like the actual storyline, you were done 3/4 of the way or so, and then you just ran right through the end.
That game was acquired by Ubisoft, I believe, when THQ went out of business, so it wasn't technically their game, but they finished it. But I understand there should have been more. But
a little bit more. And the item too, I think there should have been more items, there was variety, but it was still sort of just the same kind of.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, a dildo. It's a red dildo.
Oh, here's an abortion. Oh, here's another abortion.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah. I can't remember.
Baby Nazis, and then you're just like, what's going on?
The first time.
Great game to play high. If you were fucking baked out of your mind like that.
Yeah.
It was like one long episode of South Park, right?
Yeah, and the first time you play it, it's like the best South Park episode you've ever watched. But after that, it's like, you wouldn't mind, a $5-6 DLC with a little.
Yeah,
a couple more missions. Yeah, fuck it, man. You guys deserve it. Definitely deserve it. South Park, you guys kick ass.
But they probably finished that game and then said, okay, now what we're going to do next is come up with the next idea for the next game. And the Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they have something to do with those games. They have
I think they
have a very hands-on part of that game. So now they're busy making the next season.
They're smart too because they're making a game with shit that's already happened. a couple years ago.
Theme.
So like we won't, like when they make the third game, if it ever does happen, we might be seeing like PC Principal in that game. Like imagine that, like when they get to that point in South Park.
I agree. We probably, we'll probably get to that point.
What's going to happen? Like I know it's not so. They don't really dress up and play like they used to, like all mythologically and stuff now, do they? It's not. They don't do that so much now, do they? In the newer.
They're more focused on current events, like they always were. But then at the same time, they have an ongoing storyline with the seasons, the last 2 seasons. They keep this main part of the season, and then they just branch off from it over and over again.
But even member berries, imagine like fighting.
They're still around.
Like a member berry boss, like the old member berry mob boss guy. Huh?
That storyline's not over. That's carrying on to.
But just imagine, you have to fight the mob boss Memberberry. Like that's like one of the bosses in the South Park game. That would be fucking awesome.
You know what? It'd be amazing. And we can only hope for that.
Hey, you member, and then he fucking like splooges Memberberry juice at you or something.
What have you been playing lately?
2 games. Uncharted 4.
Okay, good game. Haven't played it. Good game.
yeah. It's a pretty good fucking game. I'm sure a lot of people probably know this by now, but I'm not necessarily reviewing or giving you a review on like the day one basis kind of thing here. I'm giving you an input on that.
Reviews and stars are kind of passé.
Yeah,
opinions are welcome.
Yeah, but anyways, overall it's a pretty solid game. It runs maybe at 45 to 60 frames. It does drop depending on what's going on.
It's a Naughty Dog game. You can't complain about frames.
Well, they can because The Last of Us was 60 frames locked. That it didn't, maybe online, but the funny thing.
Oh, the online's amazing.
The online on Uncharted 4 is. Like it runs like in frame rate wise, it runs faster than the game. But I think it's because it's like one segment of a level.
Mm-hmm. Is the online comparable, let's say, to The Last of Us?
Yeah. Okay. You know how you used to revive somebody and you'd have to hold triangle or square, whatever the fuck it was, and the bar would go around the circle. Mm-hmm. It's like that. More people that revive someone, the faster it goes.
Shout out to The Last of Us Online. That game is totally different than any online multiplayer game, and it's definitely worth a check out. It's just total. You've got to play it totally different.
Basically, The Last of Us is the stealth version, and Uncharted is the run and gun version.
Okay.
That's like it has its differences, but you do feel similarity. It's still that kind of game where you got to shoot someone like fucking a million times to kill them. Headshots do work. Yeah.
Okay.
But enough about the online. I was gonna talk about the trophy list. The game, if you're a trophy hunter, definitely get the game and fucking get a platinum trophy. The fact that it's 1% out of the whole community that has put that game on their system.
Yeah.
It's 1% for a platinum.
Trophies are.
I understand.
They're braggable though. You can brag if you.
Bragging, right? Sure, but I feel more achievement from The Last of Us. I haven't platinumed Uncharted yet, but I have to get the 6-hour trophy, beat the game in 6 hours, and the accuracy trophy. But that's just when I feel like doing it. I'm not in a rush.
No, don't rush yourself. You never want to rush yourself for a trophy.
Yeah, I tried and I failed and whatever. It doesn't matter. I know the level's a bit more, so the next time I try it, I'll definitely have a platinum.
So you're a bit of a platinum whore nowadays.
If the game's right for it. Like,
I just play the game as much trophies as I can.
Most games I do just play, but if I really think I can get, like Dying Light, if it wasn't for the initial trophy glitches at the beginning of its release, the first month.
Those were horrible.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I don't have a platinum on that game, because I did collect every single collectible.
Great game.
Great game.
Great game.
Yeah, but
goddamn,
I got screwed for trophies, and I wasn't, I guess, smart enough to look up. Glitches, and I
still didn't pop for me.
Yeah, see, there was one trophy, collect everything, like all the collectibles. I did it, and it didn't pop. And now I have to like redo it, but there is a way around it where you can like load halfway through the game to get to like the ending area, so you can go around and quickly collect everything instead of going through the whole story. But that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Game and then you don't have to do the extra.
Yeah, and there was one where it was like kill 100 zombies off a ledge, and I've probably killed 1,000 of them by kicking them. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong.
It's Dying Light.
Fix your fucking trophy. Okay, this has probably been fixed by now, but
probably
whatever. The point is, the trophy list for Uncharted is actually pretty easy going. The only thing is that people have trouble with is maybe getting it on crushing. That was such a bitch. I threw my controller.
It's supposed to be though.
Yeah,
that's what the name.
But
of the,
I
the
threw
title
myself
is.
into the deep end. I haven't played since 2. I you know what I mean? But
damn.
It was a great fucking game, and it's easy enough to platinum. It could take you a week, 2 weeks, depending on how much you want to play.
So what else are you playing? Just in 2 games.
Yes, I did. Stardew Valley.
Okay.
It's a
If Minecraft and that Terra game fucked and made a game, that would be the game.
I don't like saying things like that because it's like weird. Like I almost feel like it's Don't Starve in a way, but it's not Don't Starve, and then it is like Terraria, and I'm sure, like I said with Uncharted, everyone's probably heard of the Stardew Valley. It's a pretty popular game right now.
Yeah.
I think the guy who made it made like 30 million in the first month or whatever. He made a decent
successful game.
It's 16-bit 1080p, I think.
Okay. 16-bit 1080p.
I think it's
that you'd see in 2016, 17.
It sort of has the same graphics as what was that prison escape game? The Escapist.
Okay.
But it's instead of like the little people.
Fucking love the Escapist.
I did. Instead of the little people like how like you had in Pokemon, like on the Game Boy, it's you're a bit taller.
The sprites are
but so it might be 8-bit. I don't fucking know. Whatever. Anyways, it's a very colorful game. Like the art's very cool.
Vibrant.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen you play it. I've watched.
Sorry, sweat bucket here. Buckets here, guys. It's a farming game, and when I say that, I mean like you do farm crops, and you have to be somewhat smart about it. Like it's a game, so you don't have to worry too much. But you gotta get watermelon seeds, and you can only plant them during the summer, and they take 15, 16 days. So maybe plant them halfway through the month, and then get your return right at the end of the month, so you can buy more seeds for the next season.
It's like farming simulator.
Yeah, but then there's mining to it, and like there is basic combat. It's not very hard. Like the combat itself isn't like
it seems
to
like
do. It's not hard. It's just you press square and your guy attacks, but the enemies have weird patterns to them that make it harder.
It seems like the game that you're playing after you're mad at Uncharted, that you're just gonna go play that and just relax and have a mellow experience and just kind of do your own thing.
Yeah, kind of too. If you don't mind, friggin' grinding a game for 8 hours straight, like to relax, sure. I mean, if you want to get anything done in Stardew Valley, if you want to do a whole season, a season in that game is 30 days in game, and 1 day in game, depending on how you play it. Like if you're trying to get everything and do the quests, takes you 10 minutes, 15 minutes to go through a day.
Okay.
I think. And so you could be sitting there for 8 to 12 hours maybe. I'm not doing the math right now. to do a whole season, and then you'd be like, oh, now I'm in fucking winter. And I personally like the winter time the most because that's when you can get the most mining done, and I find I make a lot of money. Because you can mine the diamonds and silver, whatever, copper, and you don't need an abundance of ore for things because you're not always building bases and items, right? Like your items don't break, so you don't constantly need to keep retaining these items to craft. So you just sell them, and then you make money like that.
So it's like Minecraft on crack,
I guess. And then you basically get money and you rebuild the town.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that happen.
Yeah, there's a company called what is that company called in that game?
When you think of that,
they're a corporation basically. They're trying to take over the farmland, and so you can either buy into their company.
Bit of real life going on.
Yeah, and like the guy who made the game, like the characters sometimes they'll say like, oh, I wish people would stop littering, like it's so bad for the ocean, and the guy puts stuff in like that. And
Yeah,
it's like,
the developer's little like.
yeah,
you know,
so shout out to
Greenpeace kind of.
Stardew Valley, and I don't know your name who developed it, I'm sorry, but good fucking shit, man, and best of luck to you.
Yeah, we'll see with updates and maybe a Stardew Valley too. And
Check out his stream
Yeah.
if you guys want to, if you haven't heard of it or whatever. I'm sure you might get intrigued if you like that kind of crafting, looting, bit of base building, but it's more like free farm animals.
I've been playing Titanfall 2.
Yeah, what have you been playing?
Yeah, I'm gonna sum this up in about 60 seconds of what I've been doing. I've been casually playing WWE, trying to get a platinum, casually, just here and there, you know, game types knocking off a trophy here and there. I've been playing the story mode for Titanfall 2, which is amazing. I heard it's short, so I'm just kind of taking my time.
Taking your time, yeah.
Yeah, it's short.
Is there a trophy for it?
Yeah, there's trophies. It's all sorts of trophies.
For beating it on hard?
No, I think it's just beating the game. I'm not a person that goes in thinking, you know, I'm gonna try it hard first and then get the trophy. So WWE, Titanfall, Rocket League casually, you know, here and there, and then that's pretty much it. Like, and then I've been watching a lot of YouTube, so I'm playing a lot of video games. But when I am playing video games, I'm doing that. And you know, and then we gotta play this game. It's Emily is Away, which is, it's a computer game. It's a donation game, so you pay, you know, let's say like $1, and then like you play the game. Or you can give like $5. You can give $100 for all it's worth. But
you have to keep it.
Yeah, you get to keep the game. It's an MSN kind of you know, MSN. Remember, for us it's MSN. For the Americans it's AIM. You know, kind of chat game where it's like we're talking to this you know, computer, but it's supposed to be this girl called Emily, and we're trying to get her to like us, and we're going through like our last year of high school to the end of college or university, and we're just trying to make decisions, and we're typing to her, and she's responding to us, and we're trying to keep this conversation going.
Oh, okay.
It's so random and so weird, but if you're gonna give them $5, it's totally worth it. And
it's probably gonna become like an internet sensation.
I think that should be our first. Well, I think it already is. I think that should be our first like gameplay together. As Emily is away, we'll just sit down in front of the computer with the camera and just figure out this.
Talk to Emily.
Yeah, talk to this random computer over AIM. I think that would be kind of funny.
Can you ask her dirty questions?
I'm sure you could, but you want her to talk to you.
Take your fucking top off.
You want her to talk to you as long as possible.
Oh.
So.
I wouldn't want that.
And you don't want to piss her off because then the conversation will end and then she'll be away, which is the kind of the name of the title. You know. Segue to what I've been playing. I want to play the new Star Wars game. / it's not really new Star Wars. It's actually about a year old, but it's on sale right now on the PSN. And for once in our entirety, Canadian actually have a better deal. The game is cheaper in Canada than it is in the United States on the store. So that's a first ever and ever.
Why did that happen?
I don't know. Someone probably fucked up, you know. But we have the better deal with.
Sounds like fucking Sony for you.
Yeah,
bitches.
We have the better deal here for once, so that's cool. I'm gonna play that because you and Steve, you guys get on there all the time and play it.
Yeah, now you're gonna bring us down and we're gonna lose. And
I just want to play as Han Solo.
By the way, I might try and start streaming Star Wars because I love the shit out of that game, and
streams to come.
Yeah.
Gameplay to come. More to come.
Yeah. Lots of stuff.
Along with my lame Pokemon card unboxings and my Pokemon Go vlog, so you guys can tell me Pokemon Go is dead, but it will come back at some point. Gen 2, who knows whenever that'll be.
Yeah, whatever. I want my Zapdos.
Yeah, your Zapdos and your Mewtwo and all that junk.
I'm not going to New York for fucking Mewtwo.
I will jump on a fucking plane. I am like this close from going
Would you jump on a plane with snakes on it?
Snakes on a plane. I've had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Okay.
Alright.
So.
We'll segue to the next topic.
Fucking right we will.
Trophy of the week. The stupid, actually, trophy of the week.
Yeah, the stupidest.
Yeah,
the dumbest.
The lamest, most...
The shittiest.
Yeah, the worst of the worst of the worst trophy of the week. We've both been playing the Power Rangers co-op, same with Steve.
Yeah.
And
our
it's a great
friend
game.
Steve. You haven't met him yet.
Yeah.
He's invisible.
The game itself is amazing. I didn't think I'd enjoy it, but when we all sat down and played it together, because you have to play it together in person, like it's some kind of N64 game.
Yeah, like they have to leave their fucking house and sit in my fucking house.
No online co-op trophies.
What blasphemy is this? What this
1999 dial-up internet bullshit is this? That I have to actually leave my house walk or fucking cab to his guy's house, and then pick up his controller that I don't know where it's been.
Yeah, like I jerk off sometimes. I might not wash my hands. I don't know. I might forget.
Who knows? And now I have to play a game on his TV, and then get the trophies for his console, and then he has to now come over to my house.
No. No, you're making it too complicated. There's 6 fucking Power Rangers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bring over 5 friends. Okay. 6 you'd be the 6th.
I don't have 6 friends.
Okay, well we'll rent them, and we'll get controllers, and you put your account on the PlayStation, on that person's PlayStation as a guest. You sign in as guest, and then you log in with your profile. You can actually do that. Okay. So it won't stay on. As soon as the system's turned off, that profile is now off the system. It never comes back. Okay. Nothing. You don't need to worry. Also, if you have credit info on your account, that wouldn't matter.
For a trophy, this is already getting way
No. Listen. Difficult. All you have to do, it's not that complicated. You just put your account on your friend's system, all 5 of you, 6 of you, and you'll play. That's it. Like, you'll have the 6 Power Rangers. You'll have 6 buddies in your room playing.
So the trophies will carry over to the other.
The only thing you might have to do is sync the trophy over. Okay. Through on the PlayStation. So like you would.
But I still have to leave my house, and I can't play in the own comfort of my area, and my man cave, just to get the trophies. And it's not online. So like, what if you have no one gets
So
the
if
game?
you want a platinum, you have to.
You have to have friends. Yeah. What happens if you have no one that wants to buy the game? Then you're just up shit creek. Right?
You don't have friends?
No. You're my friend.
Oh.
But what if you're that random guy, and it's a Power Ranger game, so there's bound to be one guy out there that has no friends that like Power Rangers, and then now he has no way to get those trophies, he has no way to get all the games because there's no platinums there.
Well, the thing is too, is friends might move away, they might not live close to you, so it's like it's a game.
A throwback. It's definitely a throwback game.
It really is a throwback, and I think it's just harder.
Reminds me of the Ninja Turtle games for like the NES.
Yeah,
they're really good.
But if you think about it, if they had achievements and trophies back then, I guess that would be that way. You'd be like, hey, dude. Fucking, you want to come over next weekend, stay over, and we'll get the trophies?
Remember when people used to come over to your house, and then you'd be like, you want to play? And then you're like, yeah, sure, let's play. Imagine that nowadays. Someone just comes over and says, hey, you want to do something? You'd be like, you didn't text me, you didn't call me.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah, like you just go knock on your friend's door, and like his mom would answer, like, oh, hi, Taylor. Yeah, okay, come on in.
Yeah, you
want a peanut butter sandwich? Like.
Yeah, you get whatever snack they were making, and hey, what's up? And then you go see your friend, and you have a good time. Nowadays, it'd be like, why the fuck are you here?
We seen the last of the nice, like, that, because that's like 50s and 60s shit, man. People just go knock on their door.
It died in the 90s.
Yeah, it died in the
90s. That's lamest trophy of the week / died in the 90s moment of the podcast.
But we're kind of going off. We're kind of saying all the trophies, all the co-op trophies in that game are stupid.
Yeah,
because
there's like maybe 3 or 4.
You should have. At least make it so there's one trophy. Be even more of a dick like this, but it's more acceptable. One trophy, beat the game with all 6 Rangers.
Okay.
So then that means all the other co-op trophies you can play online. Yeah. But this one trophy you have to do.
You'd have that one nerd going out there buying 6 different like controllers and having 6 different profiles, and then somehow worming his way around all 6 playing at the same time.
That would be fucked.
Yeah, you'd see it. Anyways, segue to from the lamest trophy to actually something actually positive going on, and that's It's Always Sunny is back on TV, and then Workaholics came back a couple weeks ago too at the same point. And
I thought they were done.
No, well, this is the last season of Workaholics, and then It's Always Sunny was supposed to be the last season, but then it got renewed, and I don't know how many they're gonna have, but this isn't the last now. But you've seen the first couple episodes of It's Always Sunny. Fucking hilarious. Hilarious, amazing. And there's like 5 out now, and we're gonna watch a couple after this podcast. Workaholics, same Workaholics, it's just awesome and funny, and I love it too. Like, shout out to them and drug dealer Carl and all the gang of It's Always Sunny, and it's just honestly those are the 2 quality shows, and I'm sad that Key and Peele's not around to join them now either. So
yeah, but you know what? Those 2 guys have potential to go.
There are movies everywhere.
Yeah, they can. yeah, like Keanu was great.
Well, that's their own movie. That's kind of their own thing. But
I think
there are movies everywhere now, separate and together, and it's amazing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They can do things on their own, and when they do come together, like it's sort of like a band reuniting for like a crazy concert. You know, it's like oh my god, like it's just like it used to be. Hi, Cat.
CastPod.
And I really think like
everyone gets a free T-shirt when the cat jumps on a table.
You know, who's to say in a couple of years Key and Peele doesn't come back? Like it could happen. You know what I mean? There's never like an end.
Never say never with comedy.
Yeah,
because
comedy,
the bank account runs out at some point, and then you gotta make more jokes.
See, the thing is too is a lot of their comedy was based around like Obama's time too, right?
Well, not just that, but like
like when he was.
Yeah, they make fun of Obama, that's for sure. And
they wasn't making fun of him. It was
they do, but then they had like old stuff from like the aerobic Olympics or whatever it may be, or everything sports, and they were so fucking funny, Yeah,
they were good. You know who I really liked actually was Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle made a comeback in the last year and a bit. He's back. He went away because he made his money and he's just like, fuck everyone. Left,
well, he had a lot of issues with Comedy Central, I think, too. Because I don't know exactly what happened, but I think there was something to do with his content, I'm pretty damn sure. And there was also money issues, I think. And I know at one point he just told Comedy Central basically.
Well, that's what happens when you make enough money. You now graduate into the fuck you money category. You're like, I have enough money.
But he came back after that. He did. But that's when his show was kind of like he was there doing a couple segments, and there was some white guy hosting it. I think like. Yeah. Some cracker. Yeah, some motherfucking cracker on this show. Like, what are you thinking, man? It's the Chappelle show. That guy was like. I remember I probably still have the first DVD somewhere. Like,
it's a good show.
I used to watch that and laugh and giggle to bed, man.
That was a good thing.
I'd cry myself to sleep in happiness.
Amazing shows.
Yes.
Amazing shows.
Yeah.
Speaking of amazing, let's segue into the dopest things of the week.
Segue.
Segue. But yeah, like the dopest things of the week. First of all, I'd have to say a little of my own personal thing that you've seen on the channel is the new Pokemon Sun and Moon release. Those cards came out, and I'm about halfway through the collection, or I already have half the cards.
My god.
Yeah, oh my god. So check that out on the channel too, cheap plug, But, like that came out earlier this week, and that's amazing. Along with the game, it's amazing too. We talked about that in the last podcast. Other than
CastPod.
Yeah, the CastPod, cheap plug.
Guy can't even get the fucking name right.
I'm dyslexic. I have a reason.
Dyslexic. I'm not.
Dyslexic Dale Williams. But other than that, the Star Wars game being cheaper, like we talked about, that's amazing. That's more than dope. That's a feat. That's
what?
That's the Star Wars game being cheaper in Canada than America.
Sorry, I spaced out for a second actually. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I really like how I got it for free.
Yeah. Haha. Next to multiple profiles on the PSN.
No, that's not how you do it.
Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about illegal things of a PlayStation.
It's not illegal. It's not illegal. Trust me, it's not. I know my stuff. I'm smart. I'm gonna be a lawyer one day.
Yeah. You can represent. I'm gonna get sued by Paps. And yeah. All right. So do you have any gripes with the PlayStation this week? I know we finished off last week with the gripes about PlayStation, the PlayStation problems. Do you have any? I don't. I'm perfect. I love PlayStation. Please send me free stuff once again.
I always got problems with PlayStation, man. If it's not like
bitches and PlayStation.
It's like the price of the games for Canada. It's like the fucking connection. Like what the fuck are you doing? You guys.
Can I segue the price of the games into another thing?
Yeah.
This whole Trump America thing. We're Canadian. We don't really have to worry about that. I'm not sweating Trump. I mean, people say we have to, but in the long haul, I think games are going to go up because he's going to somehow do this NAFTA thing, or imports are going to cost more money. So like games are imported. That's going to cost more money. But at the end of the day, I don't buy physical games. I download. So unless they're going to somehow charge me more money for downloading games, I'm not sweating. You know what I mean? Don't support GameStop. They're evil people. We don't have to get into the whole topic. you know, like I've told this guy about GameStop, we're not going to have a conversation about that because they don't deserve our air, let alone time on this podcast. Fuck you, GameStop.
The corporation, the people that might work there, were not necessarily.
They're innocent pawns in the game of physical versus downloadable games, and you know what? At the end of the day, I hope they find a better place to work because GameStop's a piece of shit.
I'd rather work at McDonald's.
Yeah, I'd shoot myself if I work at McDonald's, but I'd rather work at McDonald's than GameStop. And that's a sad thing to say when a gamer doesn't want to work in a game store.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. But the PlayStation problem I have is right now currently is every time I turn on Star Wars, I've got elastic banding. If you don't know what that is, it's sort of when you're running and then you return maybe 2-3 seconds. Yeah, basically what happens right
I had this in my pocket. I didn't even plan that.
Yeah, so basically you just return to where you were like 3 or 4 seconds. Sometimes it gets really bad to the point.
Do you know that's teleporting? No, I'm kidding.
No, it's not. But it gets annoying because I usually just play heroes versus villains. The game type.
Probably the best type of the game because you play as people you don't know.
You get more chance to. It just rotates every round usually. And like on the other game types, you gotta like fight for the fucking pickups on the field, and like I don't play the maps, like the bigger maps. So I don't know where everything is, unfortunately, yet. I should. I've had the game long enough, but the connection it elastic bands a lot, and it gets really annoying. Like especially if you're playing as like Luke or Darth Vader, because you're in the combat with your lightsaber, you're getting attacked by everyone, and then you think you're hitting Darth Vader, but then Palpatine is here, Darth Vader's here, and then Boba Fett's just... Yeah. And then you die, right?
It's a clusterfuck.
And then when you try and run away, you elastic band, and then you go into a wall, because it's just fucked, right? Because you're lagging from before, when you were trying to pick up from the last lag.
Well, it's one of those things where it's now an older game now that it came out with Battlefield 4, which is an amazing game.
I don't give a fuck how old it is.
You see how Battlefield 4 has kind of stolen things from Star Wars Battlefront, and like next year they're gonna have another Star Wars game, and I assume after that.
Battlefield 4, you mean what?
One. Battlefield 4 is amazing, just as amazing. But you're gonna see, Battlefront Star Wars, and then Battlefield Star Wars Battlefront, and then you're gonna see another Star Wars and another Battlefield, and it's just gonna keep going and keep going and keep going. You're gonna do the rotation, but.
I think they copped out on their DLC a bit too.
Yeah.
Especially with the Rogue One. I think they should have left that part of Star Wars just out. And if anything, if they didn't want to leave the new kind of Star Wars era out, because like if you think about this, that DLC was planned.
Yeah.
All this DLC is planned, right? Like from the beginning, so they knew Rogue One was coming out.
Yeah. Well, they got the tip.
Yeah,
Way back.
So like they had developed the characters, they had all that ready, and it just feels like a cop out. And I feel like if they were gonna put the newer Star Wars characters in, it should have been like Kylo Ren and like I'm sorry, like maybe people don't agree, but I do like his lightsaber, and I think it would look really cool in that video game. Like
I think you'll see more of that the next time around.
And that's what I mean. And they should have just left. I'm sorry, I don't know her name from Rogue One.
Ray?
Yeah, like who? What?
Ray.
Ray?
Yeah, Ray.
And her father, I think, is like the bad guy.
We don't know.
The guy, whatever. The two people they brought from Rogue One, I feel like. They should have just left them out. They should have brought in like.
But we're talking Rogue One.
Well, yeah, because this Star Wars game was based basically off of the original 3.
I thought we were talking about episode the one that came out last year, not Rogue One.
No, I'm talking about whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, Star Wars.
And it
You're
just
talking about prequel or post-quill or the one in between or the one new one?
I'm just saying basically that they should have stuck to more traditional characters. Like, why did you not put another set of lightsaber characters in there? Like, give me Yoda.
Where's General Grievous? I want General Grievous.
Or
lightsabers with his 8 arms or set 4 or whatever.
Yeah, like something cool like that. And there was, I don't know, man. I don't know. What were you thinking? What were you thinking?
It's a cop out. It's a cop out game where they're just kind of like, we're gonna put the bare bones in here and then we're gonna push it out.
And it's dice too. It's dice too. So I almost feel like they wanted to make as much as they could off of that to make up for like I guess Hardline. And their shit with Battlefield 4 in the first year, like
Hardline sucked.
They had a lot of money to make up for, and I think Star Wars was sort of like their cushion.
Yeah.
That was to help them push out Battlefield.
We both played the old Battlefield games.
Yeah, and I played them a bit.
You know, those were just amazing, 1 and 2 from like the old Xbox.
2 was great.
Yeah.
I played it on PS2, but...
Yeah, I that was one of the first games I played online. And it was amazing. And
you know what? The first game... Sorry.
Had a mix of bots, just like how it does now and whatnot. But it was so good. And like I think I'd rather play those than the new one. But like next year when they have a story mode, I'm definitely gonna pick it up for sure. You know, when it comes out right away. And just for the story mode, I want to see what it is.
I think the first game I ever played online.
What?
Was Tony Hawk.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, well, it just made me think. I was like, what was it? And it was for PS2. I'm pretty sure it was Tony Hawk, Underground 1 or 2.
Okay.
And I remember just going around this map, and this one guy just kept pulling off specials. He was probably a cheater, right? He had the grind cheat on or something. But like we were doing like the point thing, like where you face each other for the most points.
Yeah.
And he just wrecked me, dude. But it was a cool experience. Like I was like, man, Tony Hawk Online. I was like, are these really friggin' people like that? Like when I was younger, I was like, man, there's people playing, and it was just like, dude, like this is.
Yeah, you know, my first online experiences. Yeah.
And then SOCOM 2 was probably my most memorable because that was the game I stuck with. Mm-hmm. Like, I never owned it, but I'd go over to my buddies and I'd sleep over and I'd play that for like 4 in the morning, you know what I mean? Just trying to...
So you were playing on the PS2 Live, I was playing on the Xbox Live, like the original Xbox Live.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've soon changed over to the PSN, but it's one of those things where it blows your mind when you first get online, you're like, holy crap, I'm playing with other people. You know,
it was a weird feeling, and you know what, I'm actually going to point out and say, sorry, this is kind of getting off topic, guys, but
it's an off-topic podcast.
It really is. Get used to it. We might change the name.
Mm-hmm. Who knows? I think off-topic is actually taken.
Anyways, the experience that we got, like Dale and I, when we first played a game online, our first time, like kids nowadays,
they just assume that it has to be online.
They're never gonna, even when they first play a game online, they're not gonna feel like we did because we grew up not having any tutorials.
Ask for your friend's place, knock on the door, go into his basement, play a video game.
And like the only thing we had for like cheat codes was Cheat Planet or something way back, like in 2000.
I bought a book once. There was book fair.
But when
with cheats for Grand Theft Auto.
When internet was still like, it was like, you know, dial up.
Yeah.
It was really shitty. There was Cheat Net and Cheat Planet.
Yeah.
That's what I used anyways, and you could get like the cheat codes for Grand Theft Auto, and then you'd have to print them out.
Yeah. And your printer, print them off. Keep them, you know, wherever you were playing your games.
Yeah.
You know, and use that, and then like, or you'd be one of those weird people with a Game Shark, and then you'd have
the odd person, and the thing is too is, you didn't even then when I was doing that, I was playing Grand Theft Auto 3 in Vice City. I didn't have internet, and I played Nintendo 64 and all these old retro game consoles. I grew up with them, most of the good ones, anyways, and. To have that first time experience where you're like, this dude is...
Yeah, there's a
guy
somewhere
playing on his couch, you know, doing whatever, eating potato chips, you know, and for me to just experience that, like, I played computer games, but that's different. Like, it didn't feel like a shooting game did when I first played a game.
Well, this console that isn't supposed to be online is now online.
That was a different experience. Like, when I played RuneScape as a kid, that was more... Like, I don't know, I played it and I was like, oh cool, there's like different characters.
The same feeling as someone like way back when in like the early 90s playing, you know, like Quake or Doom.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like I don't think that's the same feeling.
That was just before us.
That was a computer, you know, and computers had that technology, but for a console to finally be able to use internet and you could communicate and you could use a headset.
Chat.
You had to... I think you had to press a button for some games. Like you had to press like L1 or circle to activate the mic online.
That's crazy.
It was nuts.
You know, like get the little like weird half headset for like the Xbox and the 360.
My buddy had one where he had to take his hand off the controller and press the button on the fucking cord.
Just to talk.
Just to talk.
Because they didn't want this constant audio going into the game.
It was smart at the time.
Yeah, I mean that should be nowadays for all these kids, but
it was a great experience nonetheless, and none of kids like that were.
Sorry, no, they don't.
Anyone born in 2000 basically won't understand. Maybe even 95 and above won't understand what I'm. They won't get it the same way.
Yeah,
I don't.
I mean, it's a forgotten time now. It's one of those things where if your game doesn't have online, it's not supposed to have online. It's had this long story mode like The Witcher or something, or like even Fallout. But nowadays your game has to have online. It's required, and people get angry if it doesn't have online. And it's all this junk where it's some games don't need to have online.
Wait, hold on.
Some games don't even need.
What
to
are
have
The Order? That's not online, is it?
The Order 1986.
That's not online, is it? That game was short as fuck.
Or is it 1886? I'm not sure. Yeah,
whatever.
Let's not even talk about The Order. That was on sale for $5. That's the perfect price.
But it was short and it was fucking not online, so that's a shitty game.
Why?
Because it wasn't online and it was short. You can't do both. You gotta have one or the other.
That game's a perfect $5 game, and if it comes on sale for $5, pick it up. I mean, fuck, it doesn't.
But the guy who bought it for 80.
Poor him. That poor son of a bitch.
Yeah, poor.
Those fucking couple thousand people, But other than like the whole online boom, like I remember the first time I played online was for the Xbox. Playing all those games and just being like, wow, I'm playing Halo online. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
That just blows your mind, right?
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like it was like, man, I played this game on campaign mode and now I'm shooting real people.
Now I'm shooting real, or just having like the option to go online when you run a game. You're like, oh my god, I'm going online for this, and you get to talk to these other people, and you get to swear, you get to cuss at them, you get to call.
The
them
messed up thing for me is I played SOCOM 2 online for like 3-4 years religiously, and then the PS3 came out, and my buddy's PS3 sounded like a fucking vacuum cleaner, so we didn't.
Always did.
We didn't use it, right?
First PS3s always sounded like a vacuum cleaner.
But then I got bored and I turned on COD 4.
Yeah.
And this is like the original year COD 4 was released, 2007 or 8, I don't know.
Late 6, early 7.
Yeah. Okay. So when that came out, I was playing it, and I tell you, like.
Blew your mind.
It blew my mind just the same almost. It was like, oh my god, the graphics. The sounds, the grenades, the helicopter.
For the original 360 was just
the airstrikes, and it was just that experience to my original first Call of Duty game online. That was because I played those again.
Oh, you just stay up all night to play the game, but you also want to hear people and hear what they're saying, and just it was this weird kind of thing where you're now having a conversation with other people, and
Well, see, PS3 when that game came out, no one knew how to use Bluetooth on their PS3, so there was not much communication.
Yeah.
Back then.
Now it's back to that too, because people have their chat parties set to private, so you can't know what they're saying because they're in a different party. You don't know, and they don't say anything. But the PS3 was definitely the prime of that era where you could like talk shit to people or have a conversation with random people.
Yeah, you could troll. Like we I don't know. We've had some good times trolling.
I made a kid cry, and you know what? I'm proud of that. I am so proud of that. You can hate me all you want.
You said it, not me.
I'm so proud. But we met people on there that are pretty cool people. It's one of those things where it's like we've been given this great thing, and
I have one of my best friends I met on World of War. So
we met Evan, one of our best friends, right? We met him on Call of Duty. Gaming has brought people together.
Yeah.
And online people, together.
And if they had a party chat back then, who's to say I would have even
exactly.
ever
who's
met
to say?
him?
You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where gaming is actually beneficial to people and people in their lives. And we met great people online, and we met horrible people online.
Yeah.
More horrible people than great people, but nonetheless. So the positives of online gaming is just endless, and we're always grateful for online gaming, and we're from that generation where we didn't have it, now we have it, and then now it's beautiful, and I hate to ramble on, but it's great.
No,
we don't have any PlayStation problems. That was a PlayStation.
No, we started off with problems. I think we were pretty accurate, and then we just sort of.
And then we reminisced, and then we were like, oh, this is amazing.
You know what? Who gives a fuck? If you like the fucking video, then there you go. You liked it. Whatever.
So this is it? You got nothing else to...
Well, if you like what we're talking about, then who cares, right?
Watch our video and then like it and subscribe and like all those other lame fucking YouTubers.
Yeah, subscribe, guys.
Like, subscribe, comment. Who cares?
Yeah, who gives
Stick a thumb up your ass. Anyways, don't do that.
Yeah.
Unless you're into that, I'm not against that. I'm not into it, but whatever.
You might be.
Whatever floats your boat in 2017. Anyways,
I am Dale.
I'm
This
Taylor.
is Taylor. This is another PlayStation CastPod Podcast. And have a good one, guys. Have a
Take
good
it
week.
easy, buddies.